You will thrive when you put people first. In today's book breakdown, you're going to learn how the best and most effective leaders do just this. Hi and welcome. I'm Jason Gray and this is book 4 of my 50 book challenge. In today's book review and breakdown, we'll be going through Jeb Blount's book, People Follow You: The Real Secret to What Matters Most in Leadership. It's 170 pages, it's copyrighted in 2012. It's a great book for anyone who is in a leadership role or is an aspiring leader. Let's get right into it. So starting off, one of the quotes that stood out to me was 75% of the workforce feel that their bosses are the most stressful part of their job. There are far more bad bosses than good ones. It's a sad fact and a sad reality, isn't it? Countless studies and surveys of the workplace provide empirical evidence that how employees feel about their managers is the better predictor of long-term retention, satisfaction, and performance than any other factor. So a lot of times people look at the vending machines or extra incentives or the pay, and those things are fun and might have a small role, but the number one problem is usually the boss or supervisor. Look at these statistics of people who had a bad boss and what they said. 30% of the people who had a bad boss slowed down on purpose, made errors, compared to 6% of those that weren't reporting abuse from the boss or the leader. 27% purposely hid from the boss, compared with 4% of those who weren't. 33% confessed to not putting in maximum effort, compared to 9% who worked for a good boss. 29% took sick time off even when they weren't ill, compared to 4% who were happy with their boss. 25% took more or longer breaks, compared to 7% that worked for a good boss. So you can see that performance and productivity, which is what companies, management, and leadership want, goes in the gutter by 20, 30, 40% when the supervisor or the boss is abusing their people or not supporting them. So it says here, research shows that if a company is losing top talent, first look to their immediate boss. More than any other single reason, he may be the reason people stay and grow in an organization. And he's the reason why they quit, taking their knowledge, experience, and contacts with them. Many times straight to the competition. So much money today is being spent on initiatives to retain good people in the form of better pay, bonuses, options, better perks, and better training, reward and recognition programs, when many of them may just be hygiene factors. In the end, the turnover of top talent could be a supervisor issue. So if you're a supervisor, leader, someone above, let's take a hard look in the mirror, make sure we are a good boss, good leader. But if we have bosses and leaders working for our organization or under us, we got to take a close look and make sure they're doing great things. So guys, comment below, let me know some examples of maybe a bad boss that you've worked for, or some things that you have liked the least about some of your examples, so that we can all see what's happening out there, but also learn not to do those things together. When you think about this, leadership begins when people choose to follow you for their reasons, not yours. Oftentimes we're getting caught up thinking that because of title, because I or the company pays the employees, they just got to do everything that I say and this is going to work and everyone's going to be happy. And that's not always the case, right? It's their reasons. What are their reasons for working there or working for you? Especially in today's economy when things are going pretty good in 2019, people do have a lot of options of where they're going to be working. So check out these 3 kind of functional areas of leadership. Some of these words like manager could feel a little harsh, or I'm not a manager, I'm not a leader, and I understand that thinking. But look at these 3 areas or definitions. Leading. So leading is shaping the workplace through vision, innovation, and inspiration. It is moving people emotionally to make that vision a tangible reality. And a lot of times high-level executives or owners, that's what they're doing more of, right? Spreading the vision and making people feel it and helping them to take action based off of that. The second area is managing, which is shaping the work, the projects, tasks, and outcomes through a system of organizing, planning, and directing. So that's more hands-on getting things done, right? And then the last one is coaching. Coaching is the ongoing process of shaping and developing people through training, observation, feedback, follow-up in real time and on the job. So of those three areas, which one do each of you feel like you need to work more on or you need more information on? Would it be leading, managing, or coaching? And for me, in the last four or 5 years with school and with my business, I've been really focusing on doing well on all of these, but I think I confused leading and coaching to be almost the same, where as far as the vision and inspiration and the emotional side of things, I think I can do better on. That's my weakest area. And the reason why I say that is I feel like I'm a very logical person. I'll lay out the case or the numbers, and to some people that works, but not everyone cares about the numbers or it's not moving for them. You need to tap into the emotions or how they connect. Remember, you as a leader get paid for what your people do. So doesn't it make sense for you to be a great leader? Doesn't it make sense for you to get better at it and to understand your people? One of the leadership principles they have in the book, and they have a handful of them, I suggest that you guys pick it up, but follow the golden rule. We've all learned that in kindergarten. And can you imagine the way your workplace would be, your community, and the world if everyone followed the golden rule? Which is what? Do unto others as you'd want them to do unto you. And that's simple, and that's easier to do than another rule I'm going to explain to you, because you're taking it from what you're comfortable with and the way you see and feel things. Hey, I think it should be like this. I would treat people like this, so I'm going to do that, and I hope they treat me that way. The platinum rule, though, what's the platinum rule? Comment below if you've heard this or knew the platinum rule before I brought this up. But the platinum rule is do unto others as they would want you to do unto them. Which means you may think that a hug is the best way to say hi, or a high five, or yo, what's up? They may think it's a firm handshake. Or maybe they like the high five, or maybe they like the head nod or bow or whatever it is. Look, it's all about the other person. When you're understanding them, the way they like to communicate, what incentivizes them, what motivates them, how they like to be spoken to, even in relationships, how they like to feel love, that's the most important. And that takes time and effort, but it's worth it. Remember this, as a leader, you are always on stage. That's why celebrities and people sometimes don't like the limelight, because every little thing they're doing, it's on stage for people to view. But as a leader in your organization and in your community and where people see you, they're always watching and listening to see what you do and what you don't do. And guess what? A lot of times people will copy that. So look at this. As a leader, you're always on stage. Everything you say or don't say, do or don't do, your facial expressions, your tone of voice, body language, can and will have an impact on your people and potentially the entire organization. Your words and actions have meaning, and the higher your level on the org chart, the more a misspoken word, display of raw emotion, or slip of the tongue can hurt you and your people. Remember, you're not in it alone, so that is some pressure, right? That is some responsibility, but pressure's a privilege, and I know if you're a leader or an aspiring leader, you welcome that. Principle number 5 here is people do things for their reasons, not yours. We've been talking about that. The most effective leaders take time to connect with their people and help them see why it is in their best interest to follow paths. So if you know someone's dreams or goals or job description or lifestyle, and you can express how this project or work or idea helps them with those things, why wouldn't they do it? Let's see here. Effective leaders have the discipline to focus on managing and coaching the behaviors that impact the workplace while withholding judgment or attempting to change people. They know that it's only possible to change behaviors, not people. People have beliefs and philosophies and other things that are rooted usually in childhood or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of experience. You're not going to change that overnight, but you can focus on the small habits or behaviors that you know are going to lead them to the results they want to get. And also, this was an interesting one for me that I kind of felt growing up, but not really, is that as someone in a leadership role or a captain role on a team or just someone who's going above and beyond, that is not normal. You are not normal. And you can't expect everyone to think like that or act like that. And you can't get mad or judge them when they don't. And when you find people like that, great, they're kind of like you. It's a lot easier to communicate with or understand because you're on the same level, but that's a smaller percent than you'd probably like to know. Look at this. People are more willing to follow you when you interact with them based on who they are, not who you are. The most effective leaders are masters at this. They are keenly self-aware of their styles, values, and beliefs, and they are confident enough to adjust their style to deal with normal people. So guys, give me some examples below of your favorite boss or someone in a leadership role or mentor role to you. Tell us a couple examples below of why they were the best, what you learned from them or what you appreciated the most, so that we can see what's going on out there and really learn and grow together as well. Couple quick things here. Put people first, as we've been talking about. The leader's primary purpose for being is helping the people they lead achieve their goals. As a leader, it's usually not because you're going to be the best at this work and are the best one doing the most of it. It's usually because you're great at it or understand a lot of the higher level stuff and you can help others accomplish it, right? You got to connect with your people. I know there are some books or people that think in leadership roles you should be more hidden in your office or stand back and use power and fear. That's not that effective. Position your people to win. Look, step number one, and this is in the book Good to Great, is get the right people on the bus. You got a great person with some talent, you get them in your organization or on the bus, but then as a leader, you position them to win. Maybe they're in as the marketing person, but they'd be much better off being a programmer or a manager or project manager or whatever it is. So find out their strengths, what makes them happy, and get them in the right position and give them the tools, support, and encouragement to make sure they can do well. Along the way, you have to build trust and create positive emotional experiences. Hey, you guys know it. We all struggle with negative self-talk. Even people like myself who I feel like I'm extremely positive and I hang around with a lot of very positive people, we still get negative thoughts. Am I good enough? Could I do this? Is this for me? Maybe that's only for certain people. And that's not true. You got to block out those noises, those voices, and you got to replace it with something positive right away. And as a leader, typically you're better at that than the people you're serving. And theirs is 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times louder and more often, the negative voice in their head than yours is. So how can you help them get the positive voices, the positive sayings, the reinforcement in their mind and in their being? That's super critical. Flex your style. People are more willing to follow you when you interact with them based on who they are, not who you are. We heard that earlier, which means you might come at something one way, but based off what you've learned about your people, you're going to go at it a different way. Now, how can you start doing that? There are lots of assessments with great research behind them that are popular today. There's Myers-Briggs, there's DISC, there's Clifton Strength Finder, Colby, and your own leadership style are all examples of that. I've used Myers-Briggs. I think that's helpful. Strength Finder was awesome, especially if you're someone who's younger in your career or thinking about a career change. Strength Finder can give you more of an idea about who you are and where you might line up with more. But the one that I prefer the most, I think is most practical to using right away, is the DISC profile assessment. Click the link above here. I have a video that breaks down the DISC profiles and how you can use that to really be a better leader and meet people where they're at and be more effective. The fact is that people won't hear you or be open to your coaching if their focus is on how uncomfortable your style is making them feel. I'll give you a personal example of this. As you can tell, I talk fast. I can get excited pretty easily. That's just who I am. So if I'm with people who appreciate that or talk like that or act like that as well, it's comfortable for all of us. But if I'm with somebody who is monotone, talks slow and quiet, more thinking, more reserved, man, I make them feel stressed. I make them feel uncomfortable if I'm my normal self. So with those people, I'd purposely slow down. I'd reach them where they're at, even though internally it's killing me. And when they're speaking, it's killing me. And they don't realize they should be meeting me closer to where I'm at. But part of the leader is going above and beyond and doing more, isn't it? Compliment people. That's another way to bring up that positive space. Abraham Lincoln said, everyone likes a compliment. If you don't believe that, or if that's not normal with you, just go spend half your day out and about, maybe at the mall, and look for something somebody's doing, saying, or wearing to give them a compliment about. Wow, man, that's a great blazer shirt. Can you believe they just got Rodney Hood? Wow, those are awesome shoes. Where'd you get those that light up like that? Wow, those are some beautiful kids. Are they twins? Oh my goodness, I love your car. I've been thinking about a Tesla. How is it? Anyways, say some things and see the way people react and the way they instantly open up to you. But Art Williams, a great mentor of mine, said you can never overdo it as far as complimenting and encouraging people. So whatever you're doing now, what if you set a goal this week, I'm going to do it 3 times as much. Whatever you're normally doing with your people, go do it 3 times as much. And see how it makes you feel along with the reactions you get from your people. Okay, let's find the next point here. And we're about 70-80% done, guys. Above all things, your self-talk has more impact on your confidence than anything else. So you, even though you're the leader and you're helping others with this, you've got to make sure yours is on point. The people who develop courage and learn to be courageous over time reap the most success and rewards. Just ask this honest question of yourself. What would you do if you were not afraid? Like most of us, I am positive that fear is holding you back from something in your life or career as a leader. If you think about it and you're honest with yourself, you will quickly see how much impact fear has on your confidence. Hey, the great thing about you, guys, listen to this. The great thing about you is you don't care what anyone thinks about you. Now, I know that might not be 100% true, but you've got to get that in your core. I don't care what anyone thinks about you. Look, doing this YouTube thing is brand new for me. It's weird. I see myself on camera. I don't know how I sound. I don't know about the equipment. I don't know all the editing stuff. But I'm just doing it, learning, growing, enjoying it in hopes that I can teach, educate, influence, motivate more people, right? And if I could tell myself, I don't care about negativity or lower quality or doing it the right way. I don't care what people are saying. I just want to put my mission out there and see what happens and block out the negativity. It's easy to do, and now I'm doing it. And you can do that with any business, project, prospecting, appointment setting, closing, presenting, training, teaching, recruiting, couldn't you? Look at bodybuilders. When they first start working out, they use light weights. Slowly, day after day, repetition after repetition, they add weights until soon they're lifting 2, 3, or 4 times as much as when they started. And my wife knows all about this. In this same way, you can build a strong foundation of courage and confidence. Just take small steps. There is certainly no way to overcome all your fears. However, when you make it your mission to overcome 1 or 2 things you fear each day, you'll make real progress. Keep track of your accomplishments to build your confidence. Soon, a little bit each day, and your confidence will grow stronger and stronger and stronger. Look, immediately we might not even see tangible results. But if you did that every day, can you imagine months or years later? Like the last book review, Outliers, click here to see that. we found out it took 10,000 hours to be the best of the best, to be an expert. Okay? So you do a little bit by little bit by little bit over months and years, it compounds. You will be the best of the best if that's one of your goals. Invest in your mind. Gandhi said this: we should live as if we're going to die tomorrow and learn as if we will live forever. So enjoy our family, our friends, the people around us, but keep learning, because you might be here for another 50 years, another 100 years, or longer. Victor Borge said this: the shortest distance between two people is a smile. Start smiling at people. See how they, instead of just looking at you real quick somewhere or looking away, and you smile at them, what do? They come closer and they go, right? So smile at people. And lastly, remember this, guys, let's put it all together. As a leader, you must never forget you are always on stage and being observed by your people. In an imperfect world with imperfect personalities and unpredictable circumstances, they are counting on you to lead them forward. Your primary purpose for being is helping your people achieve their goals. Subjugating your own selfish needs and desires for those of your people is key. Just like being a parent, right? Most important is that you never forget that as a leader, you need your people far more than they need you. So please put your people first. Hey guys, if you learned something from this video, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, helps get the message out, and you won't miss new content that you might learn from. And remember, people are following you. So implement these ideas, guys, and join me in the pursuit of greatness.